put it polite, I appreciate that. Like, came up short, came up way short. So, I mean, that's all right. We got our ass kicked. It happens sometimes. They got a good team. Got to be able to. I mean, I think we had 3 takedowns. You know, so you're gonna have to be able to score more points than that. And we certainly had chances in matches. You know, you just got to convert your opportunities or make more opportunities, which that's part of college wrestling. That's part of it. You know, I mean, Ryder, man, he's a gritty SOB though. I'll say that. That was I don't know how many matches I've seen where both guys rode each other out. You know, and then got a takedown, moved ahead, went to an attack. You know, we got beat up a little bit, got exposed in some areas, but we also showed that, you know, they have some really good guys. I think Nick Fox is, you know, his second match out. I think he shows that he can compete with the best guys in the country. You know, Corey Land's wrestling great. You know, he's wrestling a national finalist, and you know, it's a 1-1 match with, you know, a minute and a half to go. So there's certainly positive things to build off of. There's some things that you have to be able to do too if you're going to win a dual meet like that. Is you can't let things get out of control. You know, we had a few matches where, you know, you go from 1 score to 2 scores, and then 2 scores become 3 and 4, and then all of a sudden it just avalanches on you. And as a competitor, you have to be able to right the ship. You have to be able to focus back in and, you know, win the next position, make it as simple as possible. But, you know, the crowd's loud, they're on top of you. They have a really good team, and then it kind of just caught momentum, and you have to be able to stop that. And, you know, for us, we got for me as a coach, okay, how can we figure out how to get to legs more? Which, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure that one out right now. How can we keep ourselves in a match? Because when things get out of hand and they start to feel some momentum, and that, you know, I saw that happen in a few matches. But, you know, I mean, we got beat. Good thing is we got opportunities this weekend. You know, in our home arena. We'll have, you know, look like 5 of them, because in your pool you wrestle 4 matches, and then you'll have another one on Saturday. So 2 and 3. So great opportunity for us to get multiple guys out there competing in matches and get back on the horse. You know, we have other guys at the Soldier Salute too. That you know, I'll talk about the last 3 matches that we had. You know, Bowen Downey placed. He comes back to the center with 32 seconds left, needs a takedown. Gets a takedown. Gets a takedown in overtime. Okay, sometimes you're gonna have to figure out matches like that, right? Sometimes you're gonna, again, like we talk about being able to stay in the matches, but we do 30-second goes all the time. Okay, so now you're actually bringing the practice room into competition. So he did that. You know, even though Jack lost the match, he got to 2 scores. He gave himself a chance to win in the end. He wrestled through the whole time. And, you know, and Izzy Marino too had a gritty second period ride out. Scrambles at the end to not give up the takedown, but wrestling through everything. And we're gonna have to win matches like that. We're gonna have to, sometimes you're gonna have to go a 2-minute ride out, and you're gonna have to take the guy to bounds 5 or 6 times. We're gonna have to sometimes just be incredibly disciplined and win the head position battle, and then win on a takedown at the end. Sometimes we're gonna be able to just bum rush guys. However, we gotta find ways to be able to stay in matches, win matches, and then ultimately, you know, compete, I guess, like we practice. And sometimes we're competing like we practice right now. So our practice habits have to get better. I'll just say that. But in those last 3 matches were like, there are things that we work on, there are things that we talk about and do, and they went out and did them in competition. And so we have to have more of that. We have to have more in the practice room, and if we have more in the practice room, then now we're relayed out to competition. But I don't know. That was, I don't like getting beat up. We haven't got beat up like that for a while, you know, as a team. And again, now how do you respond to those things? And that will always be the case for me as a coach. And we'll get back to work today. We'll be better today. I know I'll be better as a coach, because there's some areas we're getting beat on, and if we continue to get beat there, then close some of those holes and loops, then that's on me. So they're aware, and we'll work on them, and we will get better. And you know, Friday we'll have opportunity to wrestle 2 matches. I think the first one's at 4. I think 4 and 6, and then the next morning I think maybe 9 and 11. So you're gonna have plenty of opportunity to come watch our team compete. And you know, I know hopefully it's a packed house. then I think they'll cross back at that last one. South Dakota State, they have a really good team. And I know there's some other really good teams here too, but just, I mean, they're the top team that's, at that event. So, anything else?
What did it's kind of fun if you look at it. You've seen in recent years, you've seen Northern Illinois, you've seen Central Michigan, but it's kind of fun maybe to see a Harvard or see a Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, just different teams that obviously we don't typically get to wrestle. I think any type of opportunity we get to compete, we got to be grateful for it, and then get some more reps. There's things that we have to do. We have to be able to get the legs more. Now, if again, like, okay, we wrestle Nebraska now. Okay, we're wrestling Harvard. Like, you can't expect it to be any easier, though. I mean, that's going to be my thing to the team. Like, we're wrestling Harvard. Yeah, I mean, they're smart. So we gotta be prepared for everybody. I just think, for us, we're still trying to figure out, to me, a few weight classes and who's going to step forward. And I like that, we're going to have guys that are going to have multiple opportunities. Like I said, I think some guys have done a really good job of making it very clear that they're the guy. Now they have to, push themselves up, in those national rankings. But I know a lot of season left. I'm really looking forward to these next 3 weeks because we don't have school right now. We can train. We can really put some real intentional time into some positions and areas, and we should be better from it. And ultimately, right, we want that to happen in March. There's just some lag sometimes in some of the stuff that you're working on, because right now I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm like, we work on this all the time. Why the hell doesn't it translate? So, sometimes it's just more time. Sometimes it's doing it another way. And when you have opportunity right now, I don't say that focus is sometimes scattered a little bit, but I mean, focus can be solely on the wrestling. Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing. NFL script writers, I'm grateful that they let Rodgers have one more win. All I ask for is that the Steelers win one more playoff game. I haven't seen one for a long time. That was pretty wild, though. That was incredible fourth quarter. It was a whole lot of fun. But Boswell, listen, if Boswell, if he would have got a bunch of hate, I might have stopped being a Steelers fan. Because that dude's he's been so money throughout his career, and when he missed here, it's like, are you kidding me? And then they missed the field goal. I mean, it was right away. You knew it was going. But I'll tell you a funny story. So Hayden, I don't know if you guys, like, there's a delay on the TV, and so Hayden's kind of a jokester too, though. And all of a sudden he goes, he missed it, and me and Hendricks were like, don't do that. That's not funny. But he was like 7 seconds ahead. Like, what, he got alert on his phone, and then he missed it, and he's like, I would never do that, but he would do that kind of stuff. But he almost got clothesline.